اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. صدق الله العلي العظيم. اللهم صل على محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. We're going to recite Hadi's Kasa inshallah بنيابة المحرومين مرحومين inshallah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عن فاطمة الزهراء عليها السلام بنت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله أنها قالت: دخل علي أبي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله في بعض الأيام فقال: السلام عليك يا فاطمة. فقلت: عليك السلام. قال: إني أجد في بدني ضعفا. فقلت له: أعيذك بالله يا أبتاه من الضعف. فقال: يا فاطمة ائتني بالكساء اليماني فغطيني به. فأتيته بالكساء اليماني فغطيته به، فصرت أنظر إليه وإذا وجهه يتلألأ كأنه البدر في ليلة تمامه وكماله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. فما كانت إلا ساعتان وإذا بولدي الحسن قد أقبل وقال: السلام عليك يا أمه. فقلت: وعليك السلام يا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال: يا أمه إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله. فقلت: نعم، إن جدك تحت الكساء. فأقبل الحسن نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا جداه يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أدخل معك تحت الكساء؟ فقال: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا صاحب حوضي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل معه تحت الكساء. اللهم. فما كانت إلا ساعتان وإذا بولدي الحسين قد أقبل وقال: السلام عليك يا أماه. فقلت: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا قرة عيني وثمرة فؤادي. فقال لي: يا أماه، إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة جدي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله. فقلت: نعم، إن جدك وأخاك تحت الكساء. فدنا الحسين نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا جده، السلام عليك يا من اختاره الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكما تحت الكساء؟ فقال: وعليك السلام يا ولدي ويا شافع أمتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل معهما تحت الكساء. فأقبل عند ذلك أبو الحسن علي بن أبي طالب وقال: السلام عليك يا بنت رسول الله. فقلت: عليك السلام يا أبا الحسن ويا أمير المؤمنين. فقال: يا فاطمة، إني أشم عندك رائحة طيبة كأنها رائحة أخي وابن أمي رسول الله. فقلت: نعم، ها هو مع ولديك تحت الكساء. فأقبل علي نحو الكساء وقال: السلام عليك يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال له: وعليك السلام يا أخي ويا وصي وخليفتي وصاحب لوائي، قد أذنت لك. فدخل علي تحت الكساء. ثم أتيت نحو الكساء وقلت: السلام عليك يا أبتاه يا رسول الله، أتأذن لي أن أكون معكم تحت الكساء؟ قال: وعليك السلام يا بنتي ويا بضعتي، قد أذنت لك. فدخلت تحت الكساء. اللهم صل. فلما اكتملنا جميعا تحت الكساء أخذ أبي رسول الله بطرفي الكساء وأومأ بيده اليمنى إلى السماء وقال: اللهم إن هؤلاء أهل بيتي وخاصتي وحامتي، لحمهم لحمي ودمهم دمي، يؤلمني ما يؤلمهم ويحزنني ما يحزنهم. أنا حرب لمن حاربهم وسلم لمن سلمهم وعدو لمن عاداهم ومحب لمن أحبهم. إنهم مني وأنا منهم، فاجعل صلواتك وبركاتك ورحمتك وغفرانك ورضوانك علي وعليهم، وأذهب عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. فقال الله عز وجل: يا ملائكتي ويا سكان سماواتي، إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيعا ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا في محبة هؤلاء الخمسة الذين هم تحت الكساء. فقال الأمين جبرائيل: يا رب ومن تحت الكساء؟ فقال عز وجل: هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة، هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها. فقال جبرائيل: يا ربي، أتأذن لي أن أهبط إلى الأرض لأكون معهم سادسا؟ فقال الله: نعم، قد أذنت لك. وهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال: السلام عليك يا رسول الله، العلي الأعلى يقرئك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك: وعزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنية ولا أرضا مدحية ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضيعا ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم، وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم، فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله؟ فقال رسول الله: وعليك السلام يا أمين وحي الله، إنه نعم، قد أذنت لك. فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء، فقال لأبي: إن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول: إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا. فقال علي لأبي: يا رسول الله، أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله. فقال النبي: والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا، ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض، ففيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا، إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة وحفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلى أن يتفرقوا. فقال علي: إذن والله فزنا، وفاز شيعتنا ورب الكعبة. فقال النبي ثانيا: يا علي، والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني بالرسالة نجيا، ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض، وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا، وفيه مهموم إلا وفرج الله همه، ولا مغموم إلا وكشف الله غمه، ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجته. فقال علي: إذن والله فزنا وسعدنا، وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة. الله. رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة مع الصلوات. الله.
बस थैंक यू। सलवात सल्या। न पूछिए कि क्या हुसैन है, न पूछिए कि क्या हुसैन है, खुदा के दी का ना खुदा, हर इब्तिदा की इब्तिदा, करम की इंतहा हुसैन है। न पूछिए कि क्या हुसैन है, न पूछिए कि क्या हुसैन है, करे जो कोई हमसरी, किसी की क्या मजाल है, जहाँ में हर लिहाज से हुसैन बेमिसाल है। ये हो चुका है फैसला, ये हो चुका है फैसला, ना कोई दूसरा खुदा, ना कोई दूसरा हुसैन है। ये हो चुका है फैसला, ना कोई दूसरा खुदा, ना कोई दूसरा हुसैन है। ना पूछिए कि क्या हुसैन है। ہے جس کی فکر کربلا، حسین وہ دماغ ہے، یہ پنجتن کی انجمن کا پانچواں چراغ ہے، حسن کا پہلا ہم سفر، علی کا دوسرا پسر، امام تیسرا حسین ہے۔ حسن کا پہلا ہم سفر، علی کا دوسرا پسر، امام تیسرا حسین ہے۔ نہ پوچھئے کہ کیا حسین ہے۔ خزاں کے بعد پھر مجھے نئی حیات مل گئی، فشار سے عذاب سے مجھے نجات مل گئی۔ سوال جب کیا گیا ہے کون تیرا رہنما، تو میں نے کہہ دیا حسین ہے۔ سوال جب کیا گیا ہے کون تیرا رہنما، تو میں نے کہہ دیا حسین ہے۔ کسی کو حوصلہ دیا، کسی کو بخش دی سحر، دیے کسی کو بالوں پر، کسی کو دے دیے پسر، پکاری بندہ پروری، لغت میں اہل عشق کی مدد کا ترجمہ حسین ہے۔ نہ پوچھئے کہ کیا حسین ہے، یا حسین ہے میرا بادشاہ حسین ہے۔ شہید کربلا کا غم جسے بھی ناگوار ہے، وہ بد عمل ہے بد نصیب، اسی پہ بے شمار ہے۔ ارے او دشمن ازا، تم مر ذرا لحد میں جا، پتہ چلے گا کیا حسین ہے۔ نہ پوچھئے کہ کیا حسین ہے، بنا الہ حسین ہے۔ صلوات۔
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد، أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد، اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد۔ صلوات على محمد وآل محمد، اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد۔
Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. This poem was originally recited in the honor of Imam Ali alayhi salam, but since they share the same names, we'll be inshallah reciting it in the honor of Imam Hadi alayhi salam.
أنا حبي هادي وغرامي هادي، مولى علي مولى علي.
أنا حبي هادي غرامي هادي مولى علي مولى علي. أنا حبي هادي غرامي هادي مولى علي مولى علي. أنا حبي هادي غرامي هادي مولى علي مولى علي مولى علي مولى علي. On the love of your light, when I was raised, I was born in your name I heard praise. On the love of your light, when I was raised, I was born in your name I heard praise. At your birth, my heart for you was saved. At your birth, my heart for you was saved. From my father Ali and my mother Ali, from my father Ali and my mother Ali. Mawla Ali Mawla Ali Mawla علي مولى علي أنا حبي هادي غرامي هادي مولى علي مولى علي أنا حبي هادي غرامي هادي مولى علي مولى علي مولى علي مولى علي أنا لا أبوح بسره وأنا المقاد لأمره أنا لا أبوح بسره وأنا المقاد لأمره أجد النوال ببحره أجد النوال ببحره أنا روحي علي ودليلي علي أنا روحي علي ودليلي علي مولى علي مولى علي مولى علي مولى علي أنا حبي هادي غرامي هادي مولى علي مولى علي أنا حبي هادي غرامي هادي مولى علي مولى علي أنا حبي هادي غرامي هادي مولى علي مولى علي مولى علي مولى علي When I see your shrine, I know that I'm home. You're the King of Kings, Samira's your throne. When I see your shrine, I know that I'm home. You're the King of Kings, Samira's your throne. With you by my side, I'm never alone. With you by my side, I'm never alone. Walking Quran Ali and my Adhan Ali. Walking Quran Ali and my Adhan Ali. Mawla Ali, Mawla Ali, Mawla Ali, مولى علي أنا حبي هادي غرامي هادي مولى علي مولى علي أنا حبي هادي غرامي هادي مولى علي مولى علي مولى علي مولى علي مولاي وروحي مهجتي لك كيف أوصف لوعتي مولاي وروحي مهجتي لك كيف أوصف لوعتي أفهل رضيت بحسرتي أفهل رضيت بحسرتي حسرات علي عبرات علي حسرات علي عبرات علي مولى علي مولى علي أنا حبي هادي غرامي هادي مولى علي مولى علي أنا حبي هادي غرامي هادي مولى علي مولى علي مولى علي مولى علي بر محمد وآل محمد صلوات.
Another salawat for these beautiful brothers. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. One more salawat for Sayyid Amin, his family, and all those in presence. On our brothers and sisters side, with your loudest of salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our well wishes, our congratulations to the Imam of our time on the birth anniversary of his grandfather Al-Hadi and Naqi alayhi salam. May Allah bless us with the visitation to Samarra and being blessed with the barakah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Imam of our time, inshaAllah. Alhamdulillah, we are blessed with Sayid Kamil Kazmi, who is, inshallah, will be with us today and will be with us for a few more sessions, specifically the first 10-12 nights of Muharram. For many, you likely do know him. He has a history. He's part of this community. He was a student of UW, started the Thaqalain Muslim Association. And alhamdulillah, life took him to higher heights. That spiritual journey, that educational journey in Qom since 2010. Short break in the middle, but back to his Hawza studies, inshallah. Without too much of the introduction, we will share that in the upcoming nights, a true bio. But I'll, actually, before I go there, we would like to dedicate Surah Al-Fatiha for all our marhumeen. All our marhumeen, especially marhum Sayyid Sikandar uncle, Sayyid Sikandar Ali Shah, son of Sayyid Bashir Ali Shah, as well Sayyid Akhtar Abdi, daughter of Sayyid Manzoor Ali Abdi, Narjis Kareem from Mombasa. Uncle Marhum Sayid Sikandar is again passed away. Today is his yearly anniversary, death anniversary. So for all your and our marhumin, Surah Al-Fatiha. تسبيق الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Alhamdulillah. Just a reminder, after the program, after Salat al-Maghribain, the youth brothers have organized a few events with the presence of Sayid Kamil, and along with Sayid Kamil, his brother-in-law, Sheikh Hussein, inshallah, is also among our presence. So with your loudest of salawat, we'll request Sayid Kamil to the member, inshallah. Allah.
Right, go down. Okay, that's okay. Go. That's okay. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
First and foremost, we send our salam to the Imam of our time on this blessed occasion, allowing us to celebrate really the birth anniversary of the 10th jewel in the crown of Mustafa. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Salawat, please.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
As is customary in the wiladat of the A'immah, in particular the Imams after Imam Rida alayhi salam, our ulama have emphasized and made clear that try to talk about the life of the Imam themselves and focus on the events that transpired in their lives so the mu'mineen have a really good understanding of what took place. Unfortunately, light on the lives of the Imams is not shed in its appropriate manner. So today's attempt will be, inshallah, to better ourselves and understand for ourselves now what transpired in the life of the Imam alayhi salam. But to understand what happened in the life of Imam Hadi alayhi salam, we have to rewind a little bit. The social political movement that took place at the time of Imam Hadi throughout his 30 plus years of imamat, to understand that properly, you have to return and rewind a little bit and go back to the time of Imam Rida alayhi salam. So the start of our discussion today is with the imamat of Imam Rida. What did Imam Rida alayhi salam do? He spent 3 years in Marv, Khurasan. 3 years. At the end of his imamat, he spent in Marv. But in these 3 years, he did something very critical. While he's in Marv, in Medina, there is an uproar and chaos happening. The sons of Imam Kazim alayhi salam are constantly revolting against the Khalifa, the Abbasi Caliphate. And now, for Ma'mun, life is becoming very difficult. For Ma'mun, life is becoming very difficult. Imam Rida alayhi salam is one of the individuals who actually emphasizes to the Banu Abbas to leave Marv and go move their capital to Baghdad.
In all of Khurasan, he is now taking the trash out, so to speak. In all of Khurasan, the capital, which was Marv before, Khurasan, which is present-day Mashhad really, right? The Banu Abbasi's capital is being taken out from there and sent towards where? Towards Baghdad. Okay? At the same time, we see two letters from Imam Rida alayhi salam being sent to Medina. One is sent to who? Sayyidah Fatima Ma'asuma. Inviting her to where? Khurasan now. She comes to Khurasan with 18 individuals according to one narration. A second letter is sent to the Banu Hashim of Medina, telling them that, please come and join the Imam in Khurasan. This time Shah Chiragh brings, according to some narrations, 1,200 of the Banu Hashim. According to other narrations, 12,000 individuals. Even the more conservative number is an immense number. They come from the south and enter Khurasan now. So what's happened now, social politically speaking? Banu Abbas have been taken out. They're moving their capital from Marv to Baghdad. And at the same time, the close, intimate companions of Imam Rida are being brought into Marv. Okay? This is very important to understand because this lays the foundation of what transpires in the lives of the Imams to come. And it lays the foundation of our most important topic, the Sazman-e-Wikalat. This system of representation that Imam Hadi perfects. To understand that, we have to understand the groundworks, inshallah. Salawat, please. Now from Marv, the Abbasis have been taken out and the Banu Hashim have been invited in. At this point now, the Shias go through turmoil. See, Imam Jawad at the time of his imamat is only at the age of 7. When you look at history, we recognize that Imam Jawad had two factors which prevented the Shia from accepting his imamat. The first was the tenderness in his age, and the second was his physical appearance did not match that of Imam Rida. He was significantly darker in his complexion, to the point that Sheikh Ansari, in his famous book Makasib, mentions a story. He's quoting it from our books of Ahadith. He mentions the story that even the family members of Imam Rida doubted whether Imam Jawad was adopted by Imam Rida or not. Was he the biological son of Imam Rida or was he adopted by Imam Rida? They doubted that, and hence they brought a nasab shinas now to identify if Imam Jawad was adopted or not. That's how stark of a difference in physical complexion there was between Imam Rida and Imam Jawad. Now at this particular point, the Shias face a big problem. We see in our history that they jump ship. They go from accepting the imamat of Imam Jawad to accepting something very different. They accepted a sect called Waqifiyya. Now, when you read this line in history, if you're not familiar with what happened, it's easy to say, okay, so they didn't accept his imamat, they opened up a new store and they called it Waqifiyya. But when you understand what actually transpired and who these Waqifiyya are, you recognize, wow, rejection of the imamat of Imam Jawad was a huge turn in their entire social, political and belief system really. The Waqifiyya stopped believing in the Imams after Imam Kazim alayhi salam. That means these Shias who actually believed in the imamat of Imam Rida alayhi salam all the way to the end of his imamat, when it came time now to accept the imamat of Imam Jawad, not only did they reject the imamat of Imam Jawad, in turn they also said we were going to reject the imamat of Imam Rida, they turned to the Waqifiyya sect. This is a huge jump. The Shias are facing now problems in their i'tiqad, in their belief systems. Okay? So now Imam Rida alayhi salam set up the groundwork where the enemies were pushed out and the believers and the mu'mineen, in particular the Banu Hashim, were brought in, spreading out about Khurasan, and hence from there setting about now the foundations of a pro Ahlul Bayt civilization and city and structure really in Khurasan. And then all of a sudden at the time of Imam Jawad now, we have a conflict. We have a problem. Okay? Up at this point, we have heard from the riwayat from the Shias, have known from the riwayat from the Holy Prophet all the way till Imam Jawad alayhi salam that in fact the 12th Imam will be going into ghaibah. So they understand that this is the start where problems are going to start to appear amongst the Shias. The not accepting of Imam Jawad alayhi salam is the first of many problems to come. So the Imams are now putting together a mechanism, a system by which they can ensure that the Shias have a solution to these problems. At the end of Imam Jawad's life, when Imam Hadi is taking on the mantle of Imamah, Imam Hadi is at the tender age of 8. According to some riwayat, 9 years of age. He is now the second Imam who takes on the mantle at a very young age. But Imam Jawad alayhi salam's system of displaying the Imamah and his knowledge and his capacity at a very young age prevents that same problem that occurred at the beginning of his Imamah to occur at the beginning of Imam Hadi's Imamah. At this point, we don't see a mass conversion to Waqifiyya for the Shias, even though the Imam is still at the tender age of 8 or 9 years of age. This background is extremely important to understand what's going on. Salawat, please. The mechanism and the tool used by the A'imma now and perfected by Imam Hadi alayhi salam and later on further developed by Imam Askari alayhi salam, this was called Sazman Wikala. It was called the system of Wikala, the system of representation. In the time of Imam Hadi alayhi salam, we see that he emphasizes and focuses on certain individuals. For example, Shah Abdul Azim Hassani. He is somebody who's buried in the city of Ray. And in our riwayat, we have a plethora of riwayat about how great of an individual he is. For example, some of the riwayat talk about the fact that if you are not able to visit Imam Hussein alayhi salam, then go please visit Shah Abdul Azim in Ray. Such an important figure. Now, who created the importance of such a figure amongst the Shias of that time? Who laid the foundation for such an individual in Khurasan as a representative? Imam Hadi does this. Imam Hadi does this for a very particular reason. You see, it's not the nasab, it's not the lineage of Shah Abdul Azim Hassani which makes his position so great. He's the 5th grandson from Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Imam Hadi in the Sazman Wikalat was in fact focusing on one particular thing, which was representation focused on knowledge. Representation focused on the ilm, not the nasab. Now, Shah Abdul Azim Hassani, he was known as a scholar amongst the people. And Imam Hadi alayhi salam, in his time, we have riwayat which mention his extreme emphasis now on the position of the ulama of that time. Imam spends 20 years in Samarra in what is known as house arrest. 20 years in what is known as house arrest. after Imam Rida alayhi salam, many of the Imams went through a majority of their lifetime either in prison or in hiding from prison. So in this situation, when the Shias don't have an easy access to their Imam, this sazman-e-wikalat, this system of representation is being built and developed by the Imam. This is the tool the Imams are leaving with the Shia, saying, listen, when you don't have access to us, we're developing a system for you to still be guided. If you let go of this particular system, then you'll be letting go of guidance itself. Such is the system that Imam Hadi alayhi salam created. Salawat, please. In the time of Imam Hadi alayhi salam, he goes through, he is coinciding with 4 different khalifas in his life. See, in the time of Imam Rida, just before the time of Imam Hadi, the atmosphere was still such that open debate and the mention of Amir al-Mu'mineen was accepted and very nice. But at the time of Imam Hadi, the social political grounds has completely flipped. Amir al-Mu'mineen is hated. The followers of Amir al-Mu'mineen are hated. The caliphate goes after individuals who like Amir al-Mu'mineen and are Shia. Imam Hadi finds himself in this particular state. Now, amongst his own companions too, because the Imam is in a prison of sorts in his house in Samarra, we have the occurrence of ghulat. These are individuals who come out and they say praise of the Ahlul Bayt to the point of claiming independence from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they put themselves as the representatives of the Imams, saying whatever we do goes. This is also the time where Sufis are coming in, and even some sects of Sufism are displaying their love to the Imam and the Ahlul Bayt and so on and so forth. Imam Hadi has to battle all 3 of these fronts. From the one hand, the government is extremely against the Shias now and hiding the wilayat of Amir al-Mu'mineen and propagating against Amir al-Mu'mineen. On the other hand, Shias themselves are in trouble. They're now creating these misunderstandings in their belief system regarding the position of Imama. And lastly, non-Shias, Sufis are coming in and mixing it further. Amongst the Khojas, we have something called kichro. A big kichro is being created amongst the Shias. Or in the Urdu speakers, they say kichri. Imam Hadi tackles this in 2 particular ways. There are 2 famous ziyarat which are attributed to Imam Hadi alayhi salam. And these 2 are the bedrock of understanding Amirul Mu'mineen, and the second is the bedrock of understanding Imama as a whole. Ziyarat Jamia Kabira is a ziyarat attributed to Imam Hadi alayhi salam. This particular ziyarah, when you look at it in Mafati, is 30-some pages, right? And scholars have taken this 30-some page ziyarah and created a program of understanding the Ahlul Bayt which exceeds the level of doctorate. I brought this book to show you. They've taken a 30-some page ziyarah and converted it into 1,600 pages now of content regarding Imama extracted from that particular ziyarah Imam Hadi has displayed. And even this is a drop in the ocean of understanding our Ahlul Bayt. There are 2 such ziyarat attributed to Imam Hadi. The first is ziyarat Jamia Kabira, and the second is ziyarat Ghadiriyya. Salawat, please. In ziyarat Jamia Kabira, Imam alayhi salam is emphasizing the role of the Ahlul Bayt. He's doing jihad tab'een. He's explaining the correct position of the a'imma. We say, Al-haqqu ma'akum wa fikum wa minkum wa ilaykum wa antum ahlu. Haqq itself is from you, O Ahl Bayt. You are the Ahl of it. If I am to go towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one inviting me is you, the one taking me is you, and every step I take towards this journey is through your help. He's defining the position of the Ahl Bayt. But the entirety of the Ahl Bayt is still dependent upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where we have in the Tawqi of the 12th Imam, we have a very beautiful line that says, لا فرق بينك وبينهم إلا أنهم عبادك وخلقك. This is an immense line. It says, there is no difference, O Allah, there is no difference between you and them except that they are your khalq and your ibad. This tawqi is given to us by the 12th Imam, by his representatives. This is happening at what time? Remember, two situations were happening. The Sufi ghulat were coming in and mixing their ideologies amongst the Shias, and the Shias themselves were construing the understanding of imamat and making it independent of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In this position, Imam Hadi comes and he gives the Shias this beautiful ziyarah Jami'a Kabira. The second thing the Imam does is he uses the verses of the Holy Quran and explicitly mentions which verse links to Amirul Mu'mineen and shows his wilayat. How does he do this? In the Ziyarat Ghadiriyah, it's one of the only ziyarat that I have seen in which the verses of the Holy Quran are used in such a manner that they link the wilayat to Amirul Mu'mineen. The Imam explicitly comes and he mentions that this verse was revealed, it's linking to the wilayat of Amirul Mu'mineen. This verse was revealed and it's linking to the wilayat of Amirul Mu'mineen. Anta siratul mustaqim. In this particular ziyarah, while the government is completely against Amirul Mu'mineen and actually preaching against him, Imam Hadi is preaching the wilayah of Amirul Mu'mineen through the Holy Quran itself. Salawat, please. Understanding conceptually and cognitively the values and the positions of the A'imma, right, is a good thing. If in these riwayat and these ma'arif you're able to get a grasp of who the Ahlul Bayt were in terms of your mind, you can develop a good cognitive, mental understanding of who the A'imma were. Okay? This is the hudur of ma'arif in your life. This is the husul of ma'arif in your life. You have acquired now the knowledge of who these imams were. Sasat al-ibad, for example. You've understood that these were the a'imma are the ones who, if I want to align myself social politically, I have to align with them. They are the sasatul ibad. Okay? It gives you a husul of them, who they are. But this is not enough. See, the Sazman Wikalat, the system of representation that Imam Hadi perfected, it was not preaching of scholars who only had knowledge. It was not an advocate of scholars who only had oratory capacities. It was not an advocate of scholars who were able to simply talk the good talk. The husul of these ma'arif was not sufficient. The manifestation and hudur now, presence of these ma'arif in the life of these representatives is what was sought. Individuals who had that, they were displayed as individuals who represent the Imams. Let's look at the life of Ali ibn Mahdiyar. Ali ibn Mahdiyar is an individual who is craving to see the Imam of his time. He is craving to see the Imam of his time. And in terms of book knowledge, he has knowledge, but he is not known as the most knowledgeable in his time. There comes a time when the 12th Imam invites him and he has a visitation with the 12th Imam. Let's consider this for a second. Is it the case that Ali ibn Mahdiyar went to 3 or 4 lectures or courses and read a few more books, and now conceptually he had raised to the point that the 12th Imam said, okay, now you have the credentials of coming into my presence? No, it's not the case. A conceptual understanding of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the ma'arif of the Ahlul Bayt was not sufficient for Ali ibn Mahdiyar to be invited to the tent of the Imam of his time. In fact, Ali ibn Mahdiyar, when he starts to implement his understandings and reaches a particular state in piety, this is the point now in which he is invited to the tent of the Imam of his time. So the simple understanding of what is in the books is not sufficient. It is the implementation of that in my and your life which is the crux and key to now being part of this system of Wikala. This mechanism and tool that the Imams, Imam Rida, Imam Jawad, Imam Hadi, Imam Askari, and the Imam of this time have displayed and placed for the Shias now. This system of Wikala is an important tool that 3, if not 4, if not more Imams dedicated their lives to perfect. This is not a small tool to ignore. Salawat, please. So before I begin my last point, there's one key point which often comes into our minds, that when we recite the ziyarat, and this is something very important for our youth to understand. This is one of the things when I was growing up, I found very interesting. We would recite ziyarat and we would recite the names of the Imam, and it wasn't clear to me why we have 5 ziyarat of Amir al-Mu'mineen and 6 ziyarat of Imam Hussein, and each ziyarah has different ways of attributing them and addressing them and talking to them. It was something that was, for me, something that was new. It was something that was not very clear. Why is it the case that we're addressing the Imams in this way? Until I came across a very beautiful hadith from Amir al-Mu'mineen. Okay? Because for me, a pious person was somebody who didn't like his piety to be always expressed and shown. We amongst us have pious people amongst us, and we know them because if we go up to them and start talking about their achievements and their great positions, they typically don't like it. They shy away from that. Correct? So this was a question for me. Why is it the case that we have these riwayat where the ziyarat have such beautiful names of the Aimma? They're taught to us by the Aimma themselves. What's going on here? I know my Imams are at the apex of piety. I also know that when I see pious individuals, they don't like the mention of their names so much. They don't like the mention of their achievements so much. So what's going on? It was a question for me. In Khisal of Sheikh Suduq, in the Bab of 14s, Khisal is a very special book. It's a book that is listed with numbers, basically. Sheikh Suduq chose his capacity, because this is before computers were there, this is before Excel and Access was there. Sheikh Suduq is showing his grasp over ahadith. He is able to organize the ahadith based on the numbers mentioned within them. So you have the chapter of 1s, chapters of 2, 3, 4. When we talk about it today, it seems like, okay, yeah, you can just Google and see what riwayat are under 14 and bring them all in this particular chapter. This is in a time where there's no computers. So Sheikh Suduq shows his immense capacity in writing this particular book called Khisal. In the bab of 7s or 14s, if I'm not mistaken, it's 14s. In the bab of 7s or 14, there's a 3 or 4 page riwayat by Amirul Mu'minin alayhi salam. A Jewish man comes to him and asks him, O Amirul Mu'minin, how do I know that you are the wali of Allah? Amirul Mu'minin tells him that there are 7 tests that I gave in the life of the Holy Prophet and 7 tests that I gave after the life of the Holy Prophet. And according to your teachings, the wali of a prophet should be giving 7 tests in the life of that prophet and 7 after him. This is one of the proofs that I am actually the wali of the Holy Prophet of Islam. In that, Amirul Mu'mineen mentions a very beautiful point. He says that when everybody ran in the battle of Badr and I was left alone with the Holy Prophet defending him, there are many things I did in the way of Allah, but I will mention to you only a few that you can benefit from. This portion of the riwayat really sparked this understanding, and I saw it in other places too. When the Ahlul Bayt are introducing us by these beautiful words and terminologies, they're laying a sufra. They're not telling us who they really are. They're telling us the level that we are invited to achieve ourselves to. The mention of the names of the Ahlul Bayt, in particular in the ziyarat, in particular in the riwayat that are from them, it's a guidance and an invitation letter to me and you really. That if you were my follower, this is who I was like, come follow me. While being pious, they have not their piety prevents them from displaying their true magnificence. Sometimes in certain riwayat it leaks through. For example, لا فرق بينهم لا فرق بينك وبينهم إلا أنهم عبادك وخلقك. In some places, their true position leaks through. But in most ziyarat, there's an invitation for you and me that when we're calling on our Imam by these titles, it is an invitation letter now for me and you to approach the Imam by this particular title. Salawat, please. So we mentioned that the crux of Sazman-e-Wikalat was the introduction of individuals who not only had book knowledge, they also were able to embody that book knowledge in their actions too now. Okay? Let me give an example that's very close to me and you today, and we'll end this speech today, inshallah. How many of us have heard the hadith of Amirul Mu'mineen regarding the theft of an ankle bracelet of a Jewish lady in the bazaar? And Amirul Mu'mineen says, if a Muslim was to cry after hearing that dhulm, that somebody has stolen the ankle bracelet of a Jewish lady in the bazaar, in the shops, if a Muslim is to cry to the point that he dies from crying, this is not something out of the ordinary. Okay? We hear this particular hadith, but in today, we see really the theft not of an ankle bracelet, the demolition of houses, the demolition of everything that is close to these individuals in Palestine. They're not Jewish, they're Muslims. The cognitive understanding of the Ma'arif Amirul Mu'mineen teaches me and you is what? It says that if you were to hear dhulm at this level, theft of an ankle bracelet in the bazaar from somebody who's not able to protect themselves, who's not even Muslim, that dhulm should not exist in your heart without an effect. And what level of effect? Crying. What level of crying? Until you die. Okay. Cognitively understanding this, that Amirul Mu'minin is saying that if you are a Muslim, if you have submitted your person to Allah, you have become submissive to the will of Allah, dhulm cannot exist with you. So when you hear dhulm, when you hear of dhulm or dhulm being done, you can't coexist, and hence there's a friction within you between your essence and that particular zulm. And that creates crying for you. You can't stand that you exist while this zulm also exists. Okay? And this takes a mu'min, a believer, to the level where he cries to the point that he might even pass away. Cognitively understanding this, and then now transferring this and relating it to what's happening in Palestine, where you hear now the bombs and the houses breaking, the women and the children who can't defend themselves. When you hear that, it's not possible for a person to not be lit up asunder inside of them. We've gathered here to celebrate the Wiladat of Imam Hadi. Let's not forget, Imam Hadi was somebody who, when the Sufis were following and walking in front of him, he'd tell his representatives, don't follow these individuals. They said, why, Imam? These individuals are ones who love you. When you're not around, they talk of your praise. They attribute themselves to your family. The Imam says, they might talk the talk, but when it comes to ibadat, they clap and dance. They don't worship the way we worship. They don't embody the lifestyle that we embody. We live in a time where even in the celebration of the Ahlul Bayt, we have to remember the state the Ahlul Bayt are in. Right now, when we live today, while the Imam of the time is happy on the birth of Imam Hadi alayhi salam, he is also in the state of huzn regarding the current states of the Muslim Ummah. Our gatherings need to mimic that too. We cannot have a gathering that the mention of dhulm does not occur. If dhulm is happening, it has to be mentioned and pointed out. Salawat, please. We talked about Imam Rida alayhi salam and how he laid the foundation of the Sazman-e-Wikalat. We talked about the ideological turmoil people faced at the time of Imam Jawad alayhi salam. We talked about how at the time of Imam Hadi, similar situations were there, but he was able to make sure that that same problem that happened where people converted to Waqifiyya didn't happen in the time of Imam Hadi alayhi salam. And we understood that throughout the imamat of Imam Rida, Imam Jawad, Imam Hadi, and even after him, they were emphasizing on the roles of scholars who were pious. In what? In making sure those individuals are used as a beacon to lay the foundations for the Muslim Ummah when it comes to traversing through the difficulties that they face. And we concluded the talk then with the idea that simply having a cognitive understanding of the positions of the Ahlul Bayt is not sufficient. Each letter of the ziyarat are actually meant as an invitation letter for us to manifest and act on, to get closer to them in action. And we concluded by saying that just like how we are close to them in our hearts, and we might know of their ahadith, we have to see if those are being implemented in our lives or not. If I'm an individual who is in my heart at peace and there's no ripple when I hear the tragedy happening in the world, then I have to reassess where I stand with the Ahlul Bayt and with their words, or am I standing in a different standpoint entirely? I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts this small ibadat from us and He allows for the reappearance of the Imam where we can stand by him. I pray that He allows us to get and understand the ma'arif of the Ahlul Bayt and enact them in our lives. And I hope and I allow Him to allow this session and sessions like these to be a cleanser for our sins and an encouragement for us to follow in their path. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
أفلح من صلى على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم Inshallah, we will conclude with Ziyarat Ali Yasin. There's a short break and then I'll get ready for Salat al-Maghribain. Sallu ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Yeah, it works. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سلام على آل ياسين. السلام عليك يا داعي الله ورباني آياته. السلام عليك يا باب الله وديان دينه. السلام عليك يا خليفة الله وناصر حقه. السلام عليك يا حجة الله ودليل إرادته. السلام عليك يا تالي كتاب الله وترجمانه. السلام عليك في آناء ليلك وأطراف نهارك. السلام عليك يا بقية الله في أرضه. السلام عليك يا ميثاق الله الذي أخذه ووكده. السلام عليك يا وعد الله الذي ضمنه. السلام عليك أيها العلم المنصوب والعلم المصبوب والغوث والرحمة الواسعة وعد غير مكذوب. السلام عليك حين تقوم. السلام عليك حين تقعد. السلام عليك حين تقرأ وتبين. السلام عليك حين تصلي وتقنت. السلام عليك حين تركع وتسجد. السلام عليك حين تهلل وتكبر. السلام عليك حين تحمد وتستغفر. السلام عليك حين تصبح وتمسي. السلام عليك في الليل إذا يغشى والنهار إذا تجلى. السلام عليك أيها الإمام المأمون. السلام عليك أيها المقدم المأمول. السلام عليك بجوامع السلام. أشهدك يا مولاي أني أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأن محمدًا عبده ورسوله لا حبيب إلا هو وأهله. وأشهدك يا مولاي أن عليا أمير المؤمنين حجته والحسن حجته والحسين حجته وعلي بن الحسين حجته ومحمد بن علي حجته وجعفر بن محمد حجته وموسى بن جعفر حجته وعلي بن موسى حجته ومحمد بن علي حجته وعلي بن محمد حجته والحسن بن علي حجته. وأشهد أنك حجة الله أنتم الأول والآخر وأن رجعتكم حق لا ريب فيها يوم لا ينفع نفسا إيمانها لم تكن آمنت من قبل أو كسبت في إيمانها خيرا. وأن الموت حق وأن ناكرا ونكيرا حق. وأشهد أن النشر حق والبعث حق وأن الصراط حق والمرصاد حق والميزان حق والحشر حق والحساب حق والجنة والنار حق والوعد والوعيد بحما حق. يا مولاي شقيا من خالفكم وسعد من أطاعكم فاشهد على ما أشهدتك عليه وأنا ولي لك بريء من عدوك. فالحق ما رضيتموه والباطل ما أسخطتموه والمعروف ما أمرتم به والمنكر ما نهيتم عنه. فنفسي مؤمنة بالله وحده لا شريك له وبرسوله وبأمير المؤمنين وبكم يا مولاي أولكم وآخركم، ونصرتي معدة لكم ومودتي خالصة لكم. آمين آمين. اللهم إني أسألك أن تصلي على محمد نبيه رحمتك وكلمة نورك، وأن تملأ قلبي نور اليقين، وصدري نور الإيمان، وفكري نور النيات، وعزمي نور العلم، وقوتي نور العمل، ولساني نور الصدق، ودين نور بصائري من عندك، وبصري نور الضياء، وسمعي نور الحكمة، ومودتي نور الموالاة لمحمد وآله عليهم السلام، حتى ألقاك وقد وفيت بعهدك وميثاقك، فتغشيني رحمتك يا ولي يا حميد. اللهم صل على محمد حجتك في أرضك، وخليفتك في بلادك، والداعي إلى سبيلك، والقائم بقسطك، والثائر بأمرك، ولي المؤمنين وبوار الكافرين، ومجلي الظلم ومنير الحق، والناطق بالحكمة والصدق، وكلمتك التامة في أرضك، المرتقب الخائف، والولي الناصح، سفينة النجاة، وعلم الهدى، ونور أبصار الورى، وخير من تقمص وارتدى، ومجل العمى الذي يملأ الأرض عدلا وقسطا، كما ملئت ظلما وجورا، إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على وليك وابن أوليائك الذي فرضت طاعتهم، وأوجبت حقهم، وأذهبت عنهم الرجس، وطهرتهم تطهيرا. اللهم انصره وانتصر به لدينك، وانصر به أولياءك وأولياءه وشيعته وأنصاره، واجعلنا منهم. اللهم أعذه من شر كل باغ وطاغ، ومن شر كل جميع خلقك، واحفظه من بين يديه ومن خلفه، وعن يمينه وعن شماله، واحرسه وامنعه من أن يوصل إليه بسوء، واحفظ فيه رسولك وآل رسولك، واظهر به العدل، وأيده بالنصر، وانصر ناصريه، واخذل خاذليه، واقسم قاصميه، واقسم به جبابرة الكفر، واقتل به الكفار والمنافقين وجميع الملحدين حيث كانوا من مشارق الأرض ومغاربها، برها وبحرها، وأملأ به الأرض عدلا، واظهر به دين نبيك صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم، واجعلني اللهم من أنصاره وأعوانه وأتباعه وشيعته، وأرني في آل محمد عليهم السلام ما يأملون، وفي عدوهم ما يحذرون. إله الحق آمين، يا ذا الجلال والإكرام، يا أرحم الراحمين.